Anuradha Bhattacharyya. I'm a discovery biologist. Basically, it's basic research where we take a gene that's implicated in a particular disease and work out an assay for drug discovery. So we're at the very basic early research phase of drug discovery using one of our PTC drug discovery platforms. Well, it's exactly what I wanted to do after I graduated from my graduate school, after I got a PhD. And while I was a postdoc at the National Cancer Institute, it was more academic. My ultimate goal was to be in a biotech company or be in industry. And that's exactly what I'm doing here for the past 4 years. So it's great being part of a drug discovery program, being in the discovery group, being in a very intellectually stimulating environment, and interacting with different people. I have a bachelor's in biochemistry from Manhattan College, and then I have a PhD in microbiology from Columbia University. And then I did a postdoc at the National Cancer Institute. And I actually continued on with my postdoc here at PTC. And that's why it was so interesting, because I was their first postdoc. And I came in 2004 November. As I said, I wanted to make the transition from academia to industry, and this was a perfect place to do that. I finished my PhD, and I moved on to NCI, National Cancer Institute, or NIH, to do a postdoc. And that was more, academic, very, very similar to Columbia University, my graduate school life. But my ultimate goal was to move to industry. And when I found the opportunity here, even though it was not a full-fledged scientist position, but it was a transitory position, kind of, I knew I was going to be a postdoc and then eventually move on to a more permanent scientist position. And that's exactly what I did here 2 years down the road. Probably for a PhD scientist, there are two paths. One is being in academia, moving on from an academic postdoc to a more faculty position, leading to hardcore research or research in combination with teaching, courses. And the other path for a lot of PhD scientists is industry. Is to do a postdoc. Industry postdocs were not very popular 5-10 years ago, but they've become very popular because it really helps, the postdoc really helps familiarize you, the postdoc to an industry, to the environment. So it's much easier for a postdoc to do a postdoc in an industry. So it's a much better transition than if you're coming from academia. And I have a little bit of experience from both places. I was a postdoc for a little while in academia, and then I moved on to industry. So there was definitely an easier transition. Actually, it's not that far from what I expected. The fact that I knew that I was going to be part of a drug discovery program, I knew that every day will be challenging. I had to deal with, designing experiments, doing basic research, basic hands-on research in the lab, as well as presenting work to my peers, as well as to collaborators and outside. That's very much what I expected. So it's very close to what I expected to learn to happen being a scientist here. I have to say there wasn't any aha moment per se, but I always liked being in science. I was good at it when I was in high school, and I really enjoyed, when I was an undergrad, I did an internship at Albert Einstein College of Medicine with Dr. Bill Jacobs working on TB. And that got me really interested in antibacterial work. And that's why I applied for a PhD program in microbiology. And I actually got a PhD in microbiology in a bacterial lab. But as with this field, you just don't stay focused in one place. And that's what's so interesting and attractive about this field is you get to venture out and you get to do different things. And although my initial training was in antibacterial work, I have been working on different drug discovery platforms here in different indications, different diseases, and getting to meet different people. So I have to say there wasn't one aha moment, but definitely working as an undergrad in a research lab, that really helped me motivate. I have to say, coming to work every day and thinking about how to solve a problem. If an assay is not working, then to brainstorm, and I think that's probably the best part. And interacting with people at work, you never really work as an individual. You work as part of a group, and I'm part of the discovery group, and we have a lot of people. And the best part is stimulating conversations with people, and there are lots of really intelligent people here. I have to say, being part of drug discovery, I think discovery, that's the word, you're trying to discover. So, working on a drug platform and getting to know or learn about new diseases, new targets, and things that are very different from your specialty. And like I said before, you have a PhD, you feel like you're focused, but being in a biotech company, you really are not focused. You get to learn about what follows after the initial assay development, initial discovery process. There are a lot of things that happen after you get the small molecule. That's not the end of it. There's just so many things that follow, and I think that's the creative part, is learning about new things and just the whole process of drug development. You definitely have to have a degree in science, in biology preferably. I do a lot of hands-on work in the lab. So molecular biology skills, biochemistry skills, definitely those skills are important. Also, as I mentioned, a lot of times you present your work to your peers and people outside. So presentation skills are also very important. Working with your peers, presenting, making slides, a little bit of computer skills, pretty much a lot of hands-on lab experience. That is a lot of molecular biology and biochemistry lab work. It really helped getting into research. So if somebody is at an early phase where they're graduating from high school as senior, or they're like a junior or senior in high school, they have a few years left in high school, or they just started college, my advice to them would be to really get into a research lab, get a first-hand feel for how it is to be in a lab, to be working with pipettes and do real research. And that really makes you passionate to be in this field, because you just get to create new things. You get to be part of a creative team. So that would be my advice, is to have first-hand experience in research.